All right, so how's everybody doing today? I hope y'all are having a great day. I was hoping to be able to do a live today, but I'm having some issues since the last Windows update with the microphone not working, the phone not connecting to the computer, just different various things. I hope with this last update they did that it'll fix some of those problems. I can't connect my microphone and I can't connect my cell phone to the computer, which is where I usually do the videos. I have the stuff for the Backrooms episode 3 ready to go. I just need to do the filming of the live stuff, but all the scenes are ready to go, and I've been wanting to get that out for a while, but I haven't been able to. I may have to take the memory card out of the phone and insert it into the computer to do that. But we have been working on some stuff, and I want to show you kind of what we're working on. The first thing I want to show you is this right here, and I have several images. I'm going to show you two of them that I've been using mostly to work on this. This is what's called the Baltic Sea Anomaly, and it's here on Earth. I know we usually do Mars and Moon stuff, but this thing is pretty cool, and I was looking for something to model that'd be kind of fun, interesting, and would probably, I'm sure it ties in to stuff with Mars in some way. I'm not sure exactly, except I know that this thing is either a structure or a craft. Some parts of it look like it's a structure, and some parts of it look like a craft. And then stick around, because I actually missed the live chat today and I was sad. Chris from Mars Anomalies did a live chat today. I missed it, but I went back and watched the replay. And he actually, during part of it, brought up an image that was one of his first. It wasn't his very first, but it was pretty early in his career, or whatever you want to call it, as a anomaly researcher. And he's actually become quite a great anomaly researcher. And this was the Jeep and another vehicle that he found on Mars. And I figured that's one that I wanted to do when I started doing the Mars anomaly stuff. But I just didn't have the skill set to model that at that point. But now I think I've learned a few tricks, and I think these things look pretty good and pretty close to what they are. But we're going to go ahead and start with this Baltic Sea Anomaly. This thing is pretty cool. This right here, I believe, is a sonar image. I have several. Some of them are sonar images, and some of them are actual photographs from divers who have taken pictures of this. So it's pretty cool. And already, I mean, you can see from the sonar image, this thing is basically circular. It's got a more of an oval shape. It looks like it's round at first till you start to lay the model on top, and you can see that it's not a complete circle. It's more of an oval shape stretched in the vertical position on the image. But it's mostly circular, and it's got all these details in it. And this is, like I say, this one I believe is a sonar image, and you can see there's some pretty good detail in here. We can kind of zoom in, and you can see some of this stuff on here. And then what I did was I took this image here, which, now this one is either, I can't remember if this one was a higher res sonar or this was a photograph. I want to say that this was an actual another sonar image of it, and you can see a lot more detail in it. And the reason I'm wondering if this is a craft or a structure is you got what look like steps that come up right here, and you got these passageways where it looks like you could walk between these. And I'm just not sure. Now, a lot of people have likened this to the Millennium Falcon on Star Wars, of course. And so it was kind of interesting to me. But some of these shapes here, there's no way this can be natural. And this thing is supposed to be, how many thousands of years old? 13,000 or 14,000. Well, probably since the last ice age, okay, that happened during the It was the end of the younger Dryas period, if I remember right. You got the older Dryas, and the younger Dryas occurred like 13,700 years ago or something. I don't know. I don't have this all prepared. This is just a quick video to show you what we're working on. This thing is pretty cool. You can see the oval structure to it, and it's like I say, it's more oval than completely round, and you can see a lot of detail in this circular piece back here. You can see this piece coming across here. It's mostly square and connects to this oval, and then you got this dome structure right here, and then it looks like there's actually a void right here, and then of course this big round disc comes underneath, and this all slopes down. You can see by the wall here. Now it's hard to tell because of the shadowing. That's why I think this is an image. I don't think this was a sonar scan, because I don't think you'd get shadowing with a sonar scan, but this one I think is an actual image, and with the shadowing it's hard to tell, but you can see that this dome structure actually slopes down right through here. It's hard to see that line, but it's there. All right, and then it actually protrudes out a little bit in front of this. So this thing is pretty cool. So we're going to take a look at this one first, and I'll show you what we're working on the Cars on Mars, and it's PIA. Ooh, I'll probably get the number wrong, but I'll have all that prepared when we get the final video. Sadly, now I go back to work tomorrow, so I'm trying to get as much of this done tonight as I can. I've been working on the vehicles, which I'm going to show you very soon. So let's get into this. This is the first one. This is what I got so far, and you can see in the model here, I have it overlaid on the image. And this thing is not quite round. It's kind of an oval shape. It's more flatter on the front. It's still round, but it's flatter, and then it tapers like almost a rounded V shape towards the back. You can see that, and you can see these structures that we had in the image. And I can turn this off so you can see the detail. Let me go ahead and turn this one off. Wow, I didn't even have it labeled. And then let me turn this one off. Okay, so you can see the shape and everything, and you can see I had the model pretty well overlaid on top of it. Now, judging height was a little bit difficult, but some of these look like these two look higher than this one. This piece looks higher than this one because you have this sloping little cube right here, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see this. And you can see how it slopes down and comes even with this, all right? And then you have a piece that comes back and maybe connects to this or goes behind it. I can't tell for sure. And I haven't modeled this groove in it yet. I worked mostly on this yesterday. And then look at these stairs. This is what I'm talking about right here. These look like stairs. I mean, if you saw this anywhere else, you'd say, oh, those are steps going up. And they're pretty even. These are even. Now, these are a little bit stretched long ways. And I'm not sure if it's because of the angle or if it actually is steeper as you get to this section right here, and it's more shallow as you get to here. And then it might be covered with silt, or this piece actually looks like, see how it comes out as at an angle and makes kind of a V shape. And I can't remember if I got that modeled in the scene yet. I'll look at it here. So let's bring these back up. And no, I don't have it modeled yet because it'd be right here, and this would overhang this at an angle like this. But I've got some of this done, and just to take a look at this, just to see what we're working on here. This is kind of the shape that this thing seems to have. And if it weren't for the steps, I'd probably say this is some sort of craft buried at the bottom of the sea. But take a look at this, and I'm not going to take too long, obviously, because these are not completed models yet, but I don't even have any real lighting yet. Let me see, what does it look like with lighting? Yeah, see, I just have the basic scene light that comes in the scene, and it's actually sitting right here, but so we won't look at it with lighting yet. But this is what that Baltic Sea Anomaly looks like. And by the way, this I don't know if this is a cannon or what this is, but let's take a look at that back in the image. That is located right here, and here it's not very detailed. Let me see, do I have it on here? If not, I'm gonna have to load up the image. I have an image that shows it a lot better. Let me go back to this. Where did I see that on? Is it this one? Yeah. Okay, let's bring this one over. Okay, take a look at that. This is another image. I don't know if it's a scan or an image. You see that square right there, and you can see that round cylinder. You can see it's rounded because of the way the light fall off is on the sides. And that's one thing we look for when we're looking at images is light fall off. Okay, anything that's rounded will have a light fall off depending on which way the sun is hitting it. And granted, this is underwater, so you're going to get some distortion from the light waves, but you can still see that is a round cylinder, comes down, across, and back up here. All right, so that's what I modeled right there. And once again, this is definitely not a complete model. I'm hoping I get time at work. Excuse me. It's late at night here. Was it almost 12? It's 11:30. Hope I get some time during the week this week to actually work on this. If not, it's going to be when I'm off. But there you go. There's that piece right there. And the light fall off would be on this side. You see some, and this side. All right. So that's pretty cool. And this piece right here seems to stick up in one or two of these images. Okay, that's the piece right there. Let's see. One of these images, it had some, there you go, has some shadowing underneath it, and it looks like stuff sticking out of it. See the shadow right here? Seems to go underneath it. So whatever this is, it looks like it sticks up. And then there is that round cylinder. Yeah. And this one's not quite straight, by the way. This was kind of angled. It's kind of slanted this way. All right. And then you have these two tines that stick out from this piece here. So that's what we're working on this one. There's the two tines, and there's this piece here. And I haven't got to everything underneath this thing. There's this weird looking cylinder that was right here with extruded edges around it. So that's that piece there. And then today during the live chat, wish I would have made it to the live chat. Excuse me. Oh, I don't mean to keep yawning, but I am tired. I've been up since early. This is what Chris was showing during the live chat. One of the things. It's about an hour and a few minutes in. This is one of the earliest images he did. Now, not the earliest image. There was a roadway with several vehicles on it that he showed one of his first videos. And then I think this one was called More Cars on Mars or something. I can't remember what the video was. So long ago. 7, 8 years ago. And right in this area, there seems to be a Jeep, and I'm going to zoom into that. And then somewhere over here, when you zoom in, you'll see what looks like another car. And let's take a look at the Jeep first. Now, this is the original image. And you can't see much detail in it. But what you can see, these look like wheel wells. Okay? You can see one coming across here, and I forgot to load my pen up. I hate when I do that. See this wheel well? And there actually looks like a brake drum with an axle right there. And then the back one, you can't really see it real well here. So let's bring up the enhanced image that I made of it. This enhanced? No, that's the same one. This one's the enhanced. Okay, here's where I cleaned it up as best I could. Added a little color just to give it a little more natural look. Take a look at this thing. I sharpen it up. See the wheel well right there? See the hub right there? It's probably a brake drum, like drum brakes. And then you can barely see it, but it's there. There's that axle going across. This looks like the front bumper, and there's actually something sticking down right here. I don't know if this is part of this. It kind of looks like it. It could be part of whatever this is right here, because there's other objects definitely in this image. And if this is a vehicle, and we're saying if because we don't know. Nobody knows until we get people on the ground looking at this stuff, photographing it close up, because apparently they don't want to move the rovers any closer to look at this stuff. If I get in too close, it's going to break up. But you can see this area that this would be like the hood right here, and it goes back to about, let's see, to about here. Look how the lines come straight. Here's a line here, here's a line here. So you can kind of tell the width of this thing. And this dips down right here, comes across and goes back up. This is probably where the seats are and stuff. And then you probably have a steering wheel or some way to control it up here. And this back wheel, you can't see this hub in there, but you see what looks like this bar going across. Maybe this is a guard for the tire. Now, it honestly looks like that the tires are gone, like they've rotted away. If they're rubber like we use, they'd probably rot away. Alright, so that's that vehicle there. And he speculated that down here, that this may be a vehicle also. Okay, this right here. And even in the enhanced version that I've done here, and I cleaned this up as best I could, it's hard to tell, but it does look like a wheel well here and a wheel well there. This looks like the cabin right here where you sit in there and drive. And I'll be honest, this to me kind of looks like a sports car. And then there's a wall right here, which I've got that modeled. I've got the car modeled. I've got the wall with these two vertical pieces sticking up. They're sticking up side by side, and they're kind of at an angle like this to you. Hopefully that's the right angle. And it looks like it's sitting right up against it, like this is some sort of garage. And the wall comes to right about here, turns a 90-degree angle. By the way, it goes across here, turns a 90-degree angle. Comes down here, turns a 90-degree angle, and then slopes actually downward vertically. And then there's a piece in here, and I have tried and tried to make that out. I thought, was this some sort of parking space, garage, or whatever? Somebody left a car here. Or did all this stuff get pushed down this big hill when the disaster struck? Then he also talked about this area in here, which is absent of any rocks or anything. And the thing that intrigued me about this was these pieces right here. These just don't look like rocks. And I'm going to try to make these out, starting from at least right here is where we'll start with our model and try to get these pieces in here. Look at this. It looks almost like a cube, except it's got, at the top, it gets a little bit wider. There's a piece inside of here. There's one next to it that's of a similar shape and structure. Then there's this piece that actually like a beam. It's actually wider at the bottom, then it comes up vertically and has a horizontal top to it. So it's wider right here, comes up at an angle, almost like a Jersey barrier. If you know the Jersey barriers, those big concrete barriers they put up, kind of looks like that, a Jersey barrier. And it goes back. This is going back right here, and then you can kind of see the back of it right here where it slopes down. But the shape of this is like a Jersey barrier. Okay? And then there's other pieces around there. So our vehicle, if I can find it again. But our vehicle is right in, where did it go? Of course, I had all this ready. Now I lost it. There it is, right there. And it's blurry, and there's no way to tell if we're actually seeing this right or modeling this right. But take a look at this. It looks like this. This would be the front right fender, This would be the back right fender. And they actually protrude out from this thing. You can see that right there. There's actually a crease right there. And this actually is protruding outward. And this one is harder to see for some reason. It's in the front of it. It should be closer to you. It should be easier to see. That's actually sticking out and actually up a little bit. So let me show you what we got on this so far. So let's load up our car. All right, I want to show you that. Yeah, I want to show you the Jeep first. Okay, so here we go. And I don't have a whole lot of detail in this because I can't get a lot of detail out of it. But there it is right there. Did I rotate this all the way? Yeah, I guess it's rotated in a position. I couldn't remember if I rotated this one in a position. But take a look at the shapes of this. You can see that this slopes downward towards the front. Okay. And remember, this goes back to about here. You can see that all across here. That's the depth of it. Okay. So it comes across. We've got some sort of bumper right here. And I went ahead and shaded this as a metal material just because, so we can get some definition and see a little bit of difference in it. And I have no idea about the detail of the axles, but just based on what we've seen before on Mars and what we do here on Earth, I just basically model these axles the way, well, the axles and the brake drums, what we'd see here on Earth. So it's pretty close to what we'd see. The inside of this, you know, there probably originally were seats in here and a steering wheel. Whether they're more British or more American, there might be a steering wheel on this side or that side. I have no idea what side they put their steering wheels on. But here's that bar, okay? And I don't know what the bar is for, other than maybe to protect this in case it, you know, the back end, you know, they swing out and hit something, protecting that back end. So I don't know. But yeah, this is kind of the shape that Jeep has. And then I just raised the hood up a little bit. I figured it probably is because it has some sort of motor in there. I wish we could see detail of the lights and stuff, but I'm sure they're right about, you know, there. And on that other side, you kind of see some detail, but you know, you get too much into speculation and then you're just, you know, it's all fantasy from there, you know. But this is what we can see, okay? And it's hard to make this stuff out. And there may be a piece of a seat right here. There's something here that's lighter, but trying to make it out. And like I say, I enhanced the image as much as I could. And I looked at Chris's enhancements, and you just can't get any more detail. But the basic shape of it looks like a Jeep. So, you know, is that what it is? I don't know. Is it just rocks? Could be. But there's some strange shaped rocks, let me tell you. But that's that one there, all right? So let's put him back. Okay, so here, this thing is pretty cool. If I have this modeled right, this would be what this thing looks like. And I'm going to go ahead and move both of these down. And once again, mostly just speculation. Looks like I need to move it to the right a little bit. Might not have had it exactly lined up. I just finished modeling and put all this into place. So this thing, I don't want to get in too close, but I do want to show you. This thing looks like the shape of a sports car, and it actually looks like a nose that actually comes out at one of them V's and then comes straight across. And I'll show you what that looks like. I'll rotate the model so we can see. And here's a wheel well here. And here's a wheel well here. And then you can actually see the roof is a different color. And is this a windshield here? Now, Chris believed that this was a car also. And I can't really disagree with him. God, I'm already at 25 minutes. Okay. So let me show you this real quick. And we definitely got more to do on this stuff. Oh, and these are the two vertical pieces right here that stick up. 1, 2. All right. So this would be what this car looks like. And I'm going to go ahead and hide the wall so we can see this because, a wall's a wall. They look cool, but So this would be what this thing looks like. And a color, I have no idea. I wanted something other than a drabby tan color like the sand. So I modeled like a baby blue with some rust on it because I'm sure it's rusty. Kind of looks, you can't really tell, but I'm sure it's probably rusty and dust covered. But this would be what this kind of looks like. And it looks like that front comes out in a kind of a V shape. So that's kind of what I modeled it as. And you see these fenders, how they stick out. So that's kind of what that looks like. And hopefully when I get to the full video, I'll get some time. I could show you, basically, if you're interested in modeling, how to model this stuff. And I have no idea what the back end looks like. I just got to try to make it look sporty on the back. Alright, so that's what we got on this. So, well, you guys take care of yourselves. Have a great day. And like I said, when we get to the full video, I want to show you basically how to model this stuff quickly. These are quick models. If I showed you without the modifiers that I put on it, oops. Of course, I use a mirror modifier. I cut it in half, so anything I model on this side would mirror to that side. Subdivision surface is your friend. Figuring out what level of subdivision, I usually start with 2 and I either work down or up. But if I turn off the subdivisions, you're going to be able to tell the difference. And then look at it. There's very few lines in this. What a model would normally have. Alright, if you look at the lines, and I'll go into more of that in detail on the video, but yeah, you look at the lines and you're like, well, that's not a whole lot of lines. If you know anything about modeling, that's not a whole lot of lines. But you turn on the subdivisions, and all of a sudden, it starts to look pretty darn cool in the shape. Alright, but anyway, that's for another day. You guys take care of yourselves. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'm really hoping to do a live chat with Leslie Ann. Most of you guys that follow me probably know Leslie Ann. She's got some pretty interesting stories. I should have brought up one of her images, but I'm already at almost 30 minutes. So I've been cleaning up some of her images and looking at them, and I gotta tell you, you can doubt her all you want, and that's fine. Her story sounds fantastic, and it does. But if you had any experience in this field and you understand where she's coming from, and then you look at the images, and when you clean them up, it's like, yeah, those are not stars. You can see shapes there. And I'm going to get into modeling some of those, as long as, she doesn't mind me using her images and modeling them. Of course, she gets credit for it. Obviously, these are her images. But there's some pretty fascinating stuff in those images. And there's some definite structures, some shapes in that. They look like craft in the sky around this one image of the moon. And I took one of the best images, or one of the best objects from the moon, and I'm going to start modeling that. I cleaned it up around that. I zoomed in on it, cleaned it up, and it literally looks like some sort of jet aircraft, except it's flying vertically going downward. I don't think it's a jet. I think it's something else, and it's hovering around the moon. But the basic shape is kind of like a what do they call this craft? But it's the V-shaped wings and stuff. So it's pretty cool. Hoping to get her on live. I can get all this stuff worked out on here. Take care of yourselves. Share this with everybody. I don't care if you take my models and use them. I put several models on Chris's Discord server, and I keep intending to upload more. It's just baking the materials and stuff, and then I can upload them. I can't upload them directly, or it'll just come as a plain model, kind of like this, without any textures on it. But I had to bake the materials in, and that takes a little bit of time to get it all looking right and everything. So I've been uploading some on there, and you can take these models and use them. If you can, just give me some credit for it. And of course, don't forget to credit NASA, JPL, and Caltech, because the original images that are used in the models come from them. Have a great day. Please share this, like, share, and subscribe. And I can't wait to see y'all on the next video.